Things they don't want you to know about the Bangkok Robot Building. The Bank of Asia contacted the Thai architect Sumit Jumsai in the late 1970s to discuss designing a new building for the institution. The bank was seeking a design that would reflect the increasing use of computers in financial transactions to decorate its new headquarters in Bangkok. Sumit racked his brain for a considerable amount of time trying to think of an appropriate design. However, just at that moment, his kid entered the room while carrying a toy robot, and he had a brilliant idea. Banking and having fun typically aren't compatible activities. Having fun, on the other hand, has been raised to the status of a treasured attitude in Thailand and given the name Sanak. This may be why the Bank of Asia was so ecstatic about Sumit's proposition, and why they jumped at the chance to get started on the construction of the robot building. The 20-story structure, which was finished in 1987 for $10 million US and was initially the tallest building in the primary commercial district of Sathorn, was once the tallest building in the area. Even though it does not currently have the most prominent position in the city's skyline, it is nonetheless one of the most identifiable skyscrapers in the area. The body of the robot is formed by the decreasing area of each story of the structure, which occurs at regular intervals. The top piece, the head, of the robot has two spherical windows that seem like lidded eyeballs. This gives the robot an appearance that is cartoon-like and a little bit tired. Sumit installed antennae on the roof, which function as both communication masts and lightning rods. Additionally, the walls of the structure are ornamented with gigantic nuts that have a metallic appearance, the largest of which measures 12.5 feet in diameter. After some time had passed, the Museum of Contemporary Art in Los Angeles decided that the structure should be included among the top 50 influential buildings of the century. Some people disagree with it, but is there anyone who doesn't? And the concept of having a gigantic toy robot standing in the center of a metropolis is, to many people, particularly those who have not been completely consumed by cynicism, nothing but a good time. Even if it does include a significant number of financial experts. Get the facts before you go. The robot building may be found in the Sathorn neighborhood of Bangkok, at the address 191, South Sathorn Road. The United Overseas Bank, which in 2005 completed the acquisition of Bank of Asia, has made its headquarters in Bangkok and is currently occupying the building. To reach there, take the BTS Skytrain to Chong Nansi, which is only a few minutes walk away from the building. In addition, you can observe it while you are riding on the Skytrain. If you are traveling on the Siloam line towards Saphon Taksin, you will notice it on your left shortly after exiting the Chong Nansi station, and if you are traveling from Saphon Taksin towards Siam or National Stadium, you will notice it on your right just after exiting the Surasak station. A representation of our way of life is the robot skyscraper. The question is, where did the concept of constructing a structure in the shape of a robot originate? The toy belongs to the sun. The construction of the robot building began in 1987 and was finished 1987 at 191 South Sathorn Road in the Sathorn neighborhood of Bangkok. The robot building is a huge representation of the common toy robots of that era. The jaw-dropping features of the robot's design are not limited to the squared lines and planes that get smaller as they rise to create the body of the robot. The robot building gives off the impression of being a real robot as a result of the embellishments that were included in it by the architect so that everything could appear as realistic as possible. This tall building has two antennae that serve as both communication poles and lightning rods on the roof. Additionally, two enormous round windows at the top mimic two eyes, giving the impression that the building is a living being that is occasionally dozing off. The skyscraper, which had a total of 20 stories and cost $10 million to complete, held the title of being the tallest structure in Sathorn's primary commercial center for some time after it was finished. Even though it is now surrounded by significantly taller buildings, the robot building will continue to be the only one of its kind to have the shape of a robot. The emblem of a certain way of life. Today, the robot building serves as the Thai headquarters of UOB, also known as United Overseas Bank, which is a banking firm based in Singapore that purchased Bank of Asia in 2005. It may seem surprising that one of the most prominent banks in the country would accept such a humorous and lavish initiative, but for Thailand, it is not at all strange that this would take place. Because having a good time is an integral component of the way of life, a cherished philosophy known as Sanok was probably the reason why this endeavor was successful. The structure is considered to be one of the 50 fundamental buildings of the century. The Museum of Contemporary Art in Los Angeles has deemed this structure to be one of the century's top 50 most significant landmarks, and it was their decision. This robotic skyscraper is not adored by everyone, but those who opt to leave cynicism and seriousness behind find the idea of having a large toy robot standing in the heart of a metropolis to be a wonderful and amusing idea for having the robot be there. And the fact that a giant robot with a bunch of busy bankers inside of it is much funnier, don't you think? The building is 20 stories tall and has a total floor area of 23,506 square meters. The floor areas decrease progressively at the 4th, 8th, 12th, 16th, and 18th floors. The staggered shape of both contributes to the robot's appearance and is an efficient solution to setback regulations requiring an 18-degree incline from each side of the property line. The building's ground floor is a double-height banking hall. The hall's interior architecture, designed in association with the firm 7 Associates, was designed to further the robotic appearance of the building. First sculptures by Thai artist Thavi Chainitaprabha stand at the main door. Offices and conference spaces are housed on the mezzanine floors that are situated on either side of the main banking hall. On the building's second floor, there is a big hall that may be used for a variety of purposes, as well as offices and training rooms. The building's upper floors are made up of standard office space. Behind the main building is where you'll find a parking garage that has 8 levels. Although it frequently serves useful tasks as well as decorative ones, the building's outside decoration is what gives it its robotic aspect. On top of the building are 2 antennas that serve dual purposes as lightning rods and communication devices. The upper exterior of the building features 2 hooded eyeballs that measure 6 meters and act as windows. These eyeballs are located in front of the main conference and dining rooms of the top executive suites. The reflecting glass that makes up the eyeball is sandwiched between metal louvers that make up the eyelids. The building's sides are decorated with nuts made of glass, reinforced concrete. The building's largest nuts have a diameter of 3.8 meters, 12 feet, and were the largest in the world when they were constructed. The building's north and south sides, the robot's front and back, are tinted curtain walls whose vibrant blue color was selected because it was the symbol of the Bank of Asia. The building's east and west walls, the robot's sides, have few apertures to shield its interior from the sun and to increase energy efficiency, and the building's east and west walls have few apertures to increase energy efficiency. The Museum of Contemporary Art in Los Angeles chose the robot building to be one of the 50 key buildings of the century. The museum is located in Los Angeles. In addition, the structure helped Sumit win an award from the Atheneum Museum of Architecture and Design in Chicago. This was the first time a Thai designer had been honored with this particular award. The building enhanced the world's recognition of modern Thai architecture, as stated in Stephen Sennett's Encyclopedia of 20th Century Architecture. If you liked this video, follow us and you will find many videos that will help you to transform your life. Thanks for watching all the video. Please subscribe and hit the bell. See you soon.